All right, so you've saved up for months, maybe even years, and you're finally ready to take the plunge into homeownership. You've got your eye on a house, and you've been dreaming of the day you can call it yours. But here's the thing, that perfect home price tag, it's just the beginning. You're probably thinking the listed price and a bit extra for the down payment is all you need. But here's where things get tricky. What about the costs that no one talks about? Because trust me, they'll hit you like a ton of bricks if you're not prepared. Let me break it down for you. The down payment, that 20% you've been saving for, that's just a small part of the story. Sure, you've heard about closing costs, but did you know those can include things like title insurance, inspection fees, and even attorney fees? Before you know it, you're facing a whole new pile of expenses, many of which first time buyers completely overlook. And then you think you've got your monthly mortgage in check until you realize you've got taxes, HOA fees, and maintenance on top of that. Ever thought about the $15,000 you might need for a new roof or the surprise plumbing disaster? Yeah, that could be coming your way too. So here's the deal. When you're looking at that dream home, don't just budget for the down payment and mortgage. You need to factor in at least 2 to 5% of the home's price for closing costs and an emergency fund for repairs. Remember, homes aren't just about the pretty countertops. They come with real ongoing expenses. And here's a quick tip. A pre-purchase inspection? Absolutely essential. Trust me, that one decision could save you tens of thousands of dollars down the line. Now, while that may seem like a lot to take in, don't worry. Coming up, we'll dive into how you can prepare financially so this doesn't derail your homeownership goals. Spoiler alert, it starts with your credit score. All right, now that we've covered the hidden costs of buying a home, let's talk about how you can actually get yourself financially ready. Because here's the thing, it doesn't matter how much you want that house, you've got to make sure your financial foundation is rock solid. And that means building credit, saving efficiently, and getting smart about the long term picture. But I get it. It can feel like you're swimming in a sea of financial advice, especially when it all sounds like it's written in another language. So you're probably wondering, how do you even start? First off, your credit score. It's the one number you'll hear constantly during the process. But what if your score isn't where it needs to be? What if you need a quick fix to make sure your application stands out? And let's not even get started on the fact that saving for a house is a lot different from saving for a vacation. How can you make it work without sacrificing everything else in your life? And what's this about house hacking? Is that really a thing? Here's the good news. Getting your finances in order for a home purchase doesn't need to be overwhelming. First, focus on improving your credit score. Start by paying off any high interest debts. Pro tip, automate your savings with apps or tools so that you're putting away money without even thinking about it. And if you're looking to get creative, house hacking, renting part of your property, can help you offset costs and build equity faster. The point is, getting your financial ducks in a row is doable, and it will make all the difference when you're ready to make an offer. Now, as you prepare your finances, you're going to need to make another big decision. What kind of home is actually right for you? Stick around because we're about to dive into how to find the perfect place without falling into emotional traps. Okay, so now you've got your finances in order, credit score is looking good, and you've saved enough for your down payment and closing costs. Now comes the fun part, right? Finding the perfect home. But hold up, it's not all about what looks good on the outside or what seems like a great deal. In fact, this is where a lot of buyers mess up. You start imagining yourself in the home, visualizing the family dinners, or picking out furniture. Here's the key question. Are you focusing on what you truly need or just getting caught up in what you want? You see, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of house hunting, especially when you find a place with a huge backyard, a fancy kitchen, and those beautiful hardwood floors. But those might not actually be the things that matter most. What about the location? Is it close to work or school? Will you be able to afford the upkeep? And then there's the emotional trap. What if you fall in love with a house that's way over your budget, or one that's just not practical for your lifestyle? How do you stay grounded when everything feels like it's a dream come true? Here's the key. Before you even step foot into a home, get clear on what's essential for you. Think about location, size, and what you absolutely can't live without. Sure, the fancy granite countertops might be nice, but will they make or break your decision? Avoid getting swept up in the emotions of it all. And remember, you're not buying a Pinterest board, you're buying a home. So take your time, stick to your must haves, and keep an eye on the long term picture. Speaking of sticking to your budget, the next thing you'll need to avoid is the biggest mistake most first time buyers make: overextending themselves. Stay tuned because I'm about to show you how to keep your finances in check while still landing your dream home. All right, you've made it this far. Your finances are lined up, you know what kind of house you want, and you're ready to make an offer. But here's where things can go terribly wrong. The last thing you want is to make a mistake that could cost you years of hard work and financial stress. Trust me, there are a few common mistakes that a lot of first time buyers make, and you don't want to be one of them. Imagine this: you skip the home inspection because you think it'll save you time and money, or you stretch your budget just to get that dream home, thinking you'll figure it out later. Maybe you get too emotional about the process and start making offers on homes you really can't afford, hoping that somehow it'll work out. What happens then? You could end up with a house that needs thousands in repairs, or worse, one that's beyond your means. And let's not even talk about the stress of not being able to make your mortgage payments. So, how do you avoid these mistakes before it's too late? Here's the simple truth: always, always get a home inspection. It's non negotiable. No matter how perfect the house seems, you need to know exactly what you're getting into. And as for that budget, stick to the 28-36 rule. Keep your monthly housing costs at 28% of your gross income and your total debt at 36% max. It might sound like a strict guideline, but it's a lifesaver when you're looking at your long term financial health. Trust me, you don't want to be paying off a mortgage for the next 30 years while living paycheck to paycheck. Now that we've got you covered on the biggest mistakes, it's time to talk about how you can make this whole process easier and maybe even a little less stressful. In the next part, I'll show you some insider tips to keep things smooth sailing from here on out. Now that you've got a solid game plan, you're one step closer to making your first home purchase a success. But what's the next move after you've got your house? Well, let's just say it's not just about paying your mortgage. Want to know how to build wealth with your new home? I've got some tips coming up, so make sure to stick around. If this video helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your home buying questions in the comments. I'll be answering them soon. Catch you in the next one.